Welcome back everyone to the second part of my video for the Samsung POWERbot R7040. Where we left off, I had set up the POWERbot up against the wall in my hallway and I left it to charge. As you can see here, it is now fully charged. As a matter of fact, I've actually already used it once and I was recording it, but unfortunately my camera died. The battery died right in the middle of recording and it corrupted the whole video, so I'm going to have to start it over again. So what I'll go ahead and do here, like I said, as you can see, the battery is already full. We've got 3 bars on here, and of course it reads out as full. We'll go ahead and start it on using the remote, or if you wanted to, you could hit the start button here, which is also the pause. Now let's go ahead and get it going. Okay. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, I'm actually doing remodeling work in my house, and there was a whole mess of dirt all over my floors. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the bot already cleaned it up the first time around, so there's really not much left for it to do. But there's a couple of spots here and there that it actually missed. So we'll go ahead and have it cleaned it up this time. Now, as you can see here, it just spelled out edge. What it is that there's a little bumper right here on the end of this POWERbot. And once it goes up against the wall and it presses it in, there's a little, well, unfortunately I'm not going to show you, but there's a piece that comes down in the front that goes against the wall, goes to the floor, and then the POWERbot will slide back a little bit, and then it will move forward again. What it's doing is it's pulling the dirt away from the wall in order for it to go ahead and suck it back up through the vacuum. And I'm not sure if you can see that little light that's coming out of the sides of it. It is being picked up by the camera, but it's not visible to the eye. But it is being picked up by the camera itself. That's part of its sensor, so it knows where the walls are. As well as this big camera right here, it uses that as well to sense where furniture, walls, and everything is at, so it knows when it needs to stop or slow down, so it doesn't just run full speed into the wall. And I was mentioning, here's the little bumper. I don't know if you saw the little red piece come down. There it is right there. And that is what's being used to pull the dirt away from the wall so that it can suck it back up. Now, unfortunately, my doors are kind of high off the floor because I ripped all the carpet out and I'm putting hardwood floor in it. So the doors are now a little too high for that bumper to reach when the POWERbot goes up against it. So it's not doing the little edger when it hits these doors right here, because that bumper is actually under the door. But it's smart enough to know. It sees it through the camera and it tries to push. When it doesn't move, it just backs away. Now, I don't have the POWERbot hooked up to my Samsung Connect app yet. I will do that later. Maybe I can show that in another video. But basically with that app, you can control the POWERbot using your phone. If you don't have the remote handy with you, you can use that. And it will also show you a map of where the POWERbot is cleaned. But you can also use that Samsung Connect app to actually start the power vacuum. Let's say if you're not home yet, you're at work or wherever, you can go to the Samsung Connect app and you can actually start up the robot. Or if you want, you can set it up with schedules. to schedule it to start up at certain days or time or whatever. Now the R7040 has a 60-minute battery. Once it gets close to running out of power time, the POWERbot will actually stop what it's doing and return back to the charging center. And of course you can always end it early by hitting the home button, the little blue button. It's the home charge button. You can also use that to go ahead and have it go right back to the charging station if you want, which I will actually do after it does a little bit more cleaning. And as you can see, this time this door is low enough to actually activate that little bumper, so it's doing the edge feature now. You can see as it gets close to the wall, it actually slows down. Not sure if you can see that, but it just picked up some of the dirt. Now it's trying to hit the wall. It's an interesting little robot vacuum. The first time I ran it, it actually went through the hallway twice before it finished its cycle. And also, if you find that the default setting for the vacuum suction isn't strong enough, on your remotes you will see two buttons here. This one will increase the suction power, and this button here decreases the suction power. We'll go ahead and increase it. You can hear that the suction power is increased, and it's much louder. And then with the middle button, decrease it back to the original default setting. It does have a button on the remote for sound. This robot does give you audio feedback, like if it gets stuck somewhere, or it runs out of power, or it's recharging, fully charged, it beeps at you to let you know. And there is a button on your remote that you can turn it off in case you don't want the audible alerts to go off. Now there are some features of this POWERbot. Right now it's set up for auto clean, and basically it is doing what it says. It's going to automatically clean what it finds. It's going to just go through a set sequence of going back and forth in order to clean this area. Another one is going to be called the spot clean. Basically what that does, it cleans one particular area much better than normal. Instead of just going through a single pass, it focuses on that particular spot to ensure that it gets everything up. You got another one where you can use the remote or even the Samsung Connect app to manually control it. You've got a left, right, and forward arrows on the remote as well as the Samsung app. And then you got another option for repeat clean. And that one basically cleans repeatedly until the battery's dead. Now what you see here on these buttons, again, this is the home button to tell it to go back home and to recharge. This is the start as well as pause button. And this would be the spot clean button. And let me get that for the remote as well. And here on the remote as well, you got the spot clean. You have the repeat button. Here's the sound button I was telling you about. And clock, schedule if you want to set up schedules, remote. Now, what you see here is the remote button. If you will look on here, what the remote button does is it turns Wi-Fi on and off. So if you press it, you can see now the little Wi-Fi signal is disabled. Press it again, and now it's back on. And for these other two buttons, schedule button here, clock button. You do need to set up the clock before you can set up a schedule. Obviously, that way it knows when to start your scheduled cleaning. And what I mentioned earlier, here's the left arrow, right, forward. That's what you use to manually control the robot vacuum cleaning. You don't want it to do it automatic cleaning like it's doing right now. And of course, you got the power button. Now I've already done a lot of cleaning here. So once it gets done with this one particular spot, I'm going to go ahead and send it back to its power base. And to do that, we just hit the home button. Now the vacuum portion of it is actually turned off. It looks like it's trying to get its bearing right now. I'm not sure if me being next to it is messing it up or not. I'll get a little farther away so I don't interfere with its sensors. There you go. And there it is. Now it just docked itself and it is currently recharging. And you can see in here all the dust it's collected from the cleaning, both rounds as a matter of fact. And these lights here just indicate that it's charging right now. And that's it. You got to see how the POWERbot actually runs. You got to look at the remote control for it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.